All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Matt, for having me here today. I tend to move around quite a bit, so this wireless, you're probably going to see me trip a little bit. I'm blown away by the amount of help that has been put in front of you guys today. I hope that you guys find a way to take advantage of that. If you're not getting the results that you want in life or on the baseball field, you see, if you don't find yourself in the lineup, then go home and look in the mirror and figure out what you can do to make yourself better so that you can get yourself in the lineup. I met my wife at Sonoma State. She was a phenomenal softball player. I got to play baseball at Sonoma State and play, but I was not the quality of athlete that my wife was. After we got married, her lupus went in remission for a long enough time, and we got okayed by UCSF to try to have a family, and we did. 2003, our son was born, I'm proud to say, at the stroke of midnight. First baby born in the entire world, 2003. Okay, I got that out of the way. So he was born. Unfortunately, in 2008, my wife got really, really sick and ended up in a coma. And she was medically induced for 30 days. She made it back to school. She's a school teacher. One of her goals was to make it back to school to teach. She did so a year to the day she exited the hospital. And that same week she made it back, our son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And we were like crushed again, and we just kept like pulling together saying, we're going to be okay, we're going to make it through with this family. It just kind of felt like it kept, knocking us down. On the way to Children's Hospital, I remember my wife telling me, she was like, hey, you know what? She grabbed my hand and she said, no matter how hard this diabetes is going to be to deal with, let's just make it the most positive thing we can have in our life. And we did. I got a phone call in the spring of 2015, and it was a doctor, his name's Dr. Livnat from UCSF and Stanford Medical Center, and he said, Gregg, I know we've been through a lot, but I just want to let you know that your wife has 6 months to a year to live. On October 25th, my wife passed away. And things got even worse for me. But the bad part about drinking or drugs or, smoking the weed, the problem that I have is that it numbs all the good. It numbs all the happiness. It numbs all the joy. It numbs all the motivation. It numbs all the energy. Guy walked in. Guy had recruited. Guy played for me. He said, do you remember, Gregg, when I tried to commit suicide? And I said, I do. He said, do you remember all the trouble I was having? You helped me. Maybe, will you just let me help you? As soon as he left, the door closed and I started sobbing. I started crying. I was like, I'm in no place like him. I mean, he tried to commit suicide. Like, I have everything in front of me, especially my son. And here I am leading this, like, this is the example that I'm setting? Like, what am I doing? I made a phone call to my two best friends. First person I called, I said, I just want you to know I have a drinking problem. And she said, I know. And I said, what do you mean you know? She said, no, I've been watching. It's okay. I'm like, it's not okay. And she said, no, it's Gregg. It's okay. You lost your wife. It's okay. If there's a problem that you have that's similar, reach out for help. Guarantee you there's people there. People on campus here, you can't find anybody, look at my ugly face and email me at Sonoma State. I'll help you. And to me, the way to get back on course is to go look in the mirror and figure out what you're doing. The results are in the mirror because you can't transfer blame. It's just you that's in the mirror. Go take care of it. Go get the help you need. Go see the counselor. Go see the coach. If you're not getting the results that you want, go get the help. Look in the mirror. You can do it. I'm going to leave you with this. It's a few words from Edgar Guest, who's a famous American poet. And what Edgar Guest said was, he said he'd be all that a mortal could be tomorrow, that none would be braver and stronger than he tomorrow. A friend who was troubled and weary he knew, who needed a lift and wanted one too, on him he would call to see what he could do tomorrow. Oh, he stacked up the letters he was going to write tomorrow. He thought of the friends he could fill with delight tomorrow. It was too bad indeed that he was too busy today and hadn't a moment to stop on the way. More time I'll give to others, he would say, tomorrow. Well, the greatest of workers this man would have been tomorrow, and the world would have known him had he ever have seen tomorrow. But the fact is he died and he faded from view. All that he left when his living was through was this huge mountain of things that he intended to do tomorrow. Think about this. That life doesn't happen to you, life happens for you. I want to thank you very much for having me here today. You guys have been awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I enjoy what you guys are doing. I really